Okay, recently I've seen a lot of conversations happening about how Nibiru really hurts the Elfnote deck, and personally I don't think that's the case. I think our deck can play through and under Nib really strong, even just in basic one card combos, but also there's other things in our engine that can get rid of the Nib token very easily. So I decided today I'm going to make a quick tutorial video on how to play under and through Nib with our 3 best one card starters, Medius, Lucina, and Tania, and show you guys that Nib really doesn't matter. Plus, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you other cards that can get rid of, or other ways you can get rid of the Nib token without having any issues, and just continue your plays. So with that being said, let's get into the combos. All right, for the first combo, we're just going to start with Lucina and 4 randoms, right? So our first action is special summon Lucina. Ask them, do they have anything? Nope. Lucina, effect. Cool. So we get Lucina's effect. We're going to add the Power Patron. Here we go normal summon Power Patron. Synchro into our 7. Power Patron's effect to search. We get Tania to hand. Then, here we're on 3 summons. We go Sterlitzia's effect. Bring back Power Patron. Summon number 4. So summon number 5 is Crystal Wing. And now we checked Nibiru. We're good to go. We can continue to play. Depending on what your other 4 non-engine are, you still have Tania in hand. So with Tania in hand, obviously you can special summon, effect, place the spell, effect, special Regina effect, special Fortuna effect. Do that. So like, this isn't the end board, but you can see that I can continue to play. So there's no issues with Nib under Lucina at all. Like here, essentially, you send Fortuna, get the Power Patron, synchro into FA Dondraxer, get Regina back to hand, and you're good to go. So there's a lot of things you can do under Nib. It's just how you sequence things and then what else you have in hand, right? So if we were to go the route where we activate effects sending this to get the Power Patron on field, then we go synchro into 7, which would be the FA Dondraxer. They still can't nib us. We get the Regina back to hand, and then this is essentially our end board with just a 1 card starter. So like with just a 1 card starter, this is our end board. Honestly, you could also open up Lucina and Fallen of White. So once you get here, you could go Fallen of White to special by sending the Albion, and now this will special out the Ecclesia. In the end phase, you'll have this, and then this will allow you go into the other one. And then you go here, special out the other one just to have the body, and then in end phase and set, right? So with that, if you were to open up Lucina and the Fallen, and their only interaction was Nib, this is the end board, and it's really strong. Like, you have full Albaz combo, you have a monster negate, a spell trap negate, you have fodder for the trap to special back anything you want, and you're good to go. So Nib with Lucina shouldn't be an issue at all. You should know what route you're gonna go. Obviously, if they have another hand trap, it changes things up, but playing under just Nib is very simple. Obviously too, if they have another hand trap, you probably have another form of extension other than just opening up 1 Lucina, so that shouldn't be an issue. All right, so this next combo that's going to play under or through Nib is going to be the Tania combo. So we're going to go special Tania. We'll activate the effect, placing the Welcome Home. Activate Welcome Home, sending this. Special out Regina. Regina's effect to special. So this is summon number 3. We'll go synchro into 7, summon number 4. Power Patron Chainlink 1, Regina Chainlink 2. We get Regina back to hand. Power Patron, we will go Lucina, I think. Activate Sterlitzia's effect to bring back the Power Patron. And then here is where they have to nib. So that's summon number 5. They have to nib here. You have Lucina to keep playing and Regina. So if they don't nib you here, you go, and it's kind of a nib check. You could either go into either one of these 2, right? So if they don't nib you, I kind of always go into this because Nib isn't super prevalent. But if you're scared of Nib, just go into the Crystal Wing. And then now you have Lucina special, Lucina effect, Fortuna, and you haven't normal summoned yet. So then you don't have to waste the Regina. You could just normal summon the Fortuna, get the trap out, and continue to play. So there's a lot of ways to get through it, but like that's kind of the simplest way with the Tania route. You essentially special out the Regina from the Welcome Home, get the Power Patron into cycle, synchro up, and then you just continue to play. Okay, so this third combo is my favorite combo to play in our Nib. It's Medius the Pure. I think it's our best normal summon. If I don't have to normal summon the Power Patron, I don't want to. This is the guy I want to normal summon. So with that being said, I'll normal summon Medius the Pure, activate the effect. It's going to special the Power Patron to the center zone. It being in the center zone, I'm going to activate the effect. It's going to make it a level 4, so now I can synchro into a level 8. So I'm going to synchro into a level 8. I'm going to go into this right here. And then with that being said, I'm going to go Power Patron, search Tania. So we're pretty set up here, and we got a bunch of little plays that we're about to make. You'll see as we get further along where the proper place to nib is. Most of the time my opponent always misses this, which obviously I'm playing at locals, so it's like a lower level, but I do play against some good people. Let's continue the combo. I'm going to activate this. That'll summon out the Fallen of the White. We'll activate the Fallen of the White's effect. That'll bring out the Incredible Ecclesia. So we're into nib right now. They could nib us and put the token there. We've normal summoned. We have the Tania. So they could think, oh, we could clog it, because a lot of people don't know the ruling that Medius, you can activate Medius, send the token back, the token will disappear, and because it didn't go back to deck, Medius won't summon itself. So the token will be gone, and then I can just go Tania. So a lot of people don't know that ruling, and it's nice. So people would potentially nib right here, which it loses them the game. So with that being said, I don't think that's the right place to nib. We'll go into Omega, which this is also another place people will potentially nib. So I'll go Omega effect, and right there, that's when people nib. I've had people nib me on Omega's effect 3 times, and it did not hurt me even a little bit. The proper place to nib would be after I summon Tania. Obviously, you don't know what the other 4 cards in my hand are, and they could be starters, but in this situation, we're playing it as we don't have starters. I personally think Omega, you don't nib on the Omega. You have an 80% chance for me to not hit the nib, and if that's your only interaction, there's a better place for you to nib and to hurt me. So if it's a 20% chance I hit it, I'd take that 20% chance every time and just like hope you don't hit the nib. So I go Omega, banish, rip one of your cards. Then I go special Tania. This is where you nib, because now if you nib, you get this off the field. You know I still have 4 cards in hand, but you don't allow me to get the spell on the field. If I get the spell on the field and nib's your only form of interaction, like it allows me to continue to play. You know what I mean? So I think in this combo, which you already put up a lot, you nib on the Tania. So with that being said, you rip them, they nib you on the Tania, you get the nib token here, right? So their nib comes out, you get the nib token. With what you have in the graveyard and what you've already done, in the end phase, this comes back. You have this, you already ripped them for this, so they're starting with 3 plus their draw. So they're starting with 4 cards, plus you have 4 in hand. So with that, and if they nib you, you could even, and have talents, you could talents take another, so they start with even less, and then you still have 3 interactions plus the Fallen of the Albaz interaction, you know what I mean? So there's this end board with Medius is one of my favorites, especially like if you do have more extension in hand, you know what I mean? And like how strong this is, it's essentially a super poly, right? Because Albaz comes out, and then we have 3 monsters that we can go into that uses their monsters. If I played the Dogma, I would take 2 of their monsters. Like there's just a lot that this little board ended up doing, and if they don't nib us at the proper time with the Tania, we just go full combo. I actually got nibbed in a match last week where they nibbed me on the Omega. They nibbed me on the Omega. They put the token. I had Fallen of the Virtuous. I popped that by sending Albion. Then I went into special summon, went full Elfnote. And then at the end phase, I set a Fallen of the Virtuous. So I had Fallen of the Virtuous, Spell Trap. I had 3 in hand. I had a Chaos Angel, an F.A. Dawn Dragster, a Sterlitzia, and then I had this guy come back. So like I had a full board, they had no chance, and they nibbed off my Omega. So like that's all they did. They nibbed off my Omega. I didn't get the rip off the Omega. I ended up ripping them on their turn with the Tania, and like they just had no way to play through it. So with that being said, nibbing the Omega is not a good choice. So if you're playing against Elfnotes, don't nib when they put the Omega on the field. Let them potentially rip it. They have a 20% chance, which 1 out of 5 is not great. So let them potentially rip it. They probably won't. Then you nib them once they commit to the Elfnote stuff. All right, so before I end this video, I wanted to talk about 2 more cards, not part of the combos, but obviously Medius Pure is part of the combo of his own normal summon. If Medius Pure is in the graveyard, a lot of people don't know this ruling for some reason, but you can activate the effect, send the token. It just won't special summon itself, but it'll remove the token. So if you have no way to special summon your Lucina or Tania or whatever to that center zone, Medius Pure will get rid of that token and you'll be able to play through. A lot of people don't understand that and don't know that ruling, but it is a good ruling to know, especially being Elfnotes player. This card alone plays through Nib by itself, right? And then the Fallen of the Virtuous, there's so much plus on this card using it defensively. So like if you have this and you're playing into Nib kind of recklessly, it's fine as long as you have extension afterwards, right? So if they're gonna nib you and your only way to pop the nib token and continue to play is Fallen of the Virtuous, it's pretty cool because you're going to pop it by sending Albion. Albion's gonna set another one. So it's not like you even used the pop at all, right? Because you're gonna have the Fallen of the Virtuous on their turn set in the end phase. So this card is just a massive plus. And for me, I play this at 3 and this at 2. So my deck has 5 cards that out nib just on their own, not even throughout the combo, right? So with that being said, I really don't think nib hurts this deck at all. So that's the video. I think if you guys can just understand the combo lines under nib and the cards that you have like in hand for extension of where you can play and where you're going to get hit with a Nibiru that's going to hurt the most of the time the opponent doesn't hit you at the best place and you just continue to play. And if you're lucky, you have Medius in the grave or Fallen of Virtuous in hand, or you haven't normal summoned yet because you can just tribute summon over and then continue to play. So there's a lot of ways to get rid of the nib token that it shouldn't hurt you at all. As long as you play like you're aware of it, you should be able to play through and under nib easily every single time. Unless they're hitting you with 2-3 hand traps, which most of the time they are, you should be absolutely fine. Nib paired with other hand traps hurts us a lot. Nib by itself doesn't do much. So with all that being said, learn these combos, learn the routes you can take to play under and through nib with all the other cards as well, and just continue to learn. That's what I'm doing, is I'm trying to learn the most efficient ways to do that. And actually, if you guys have more efficient ways, comment them down below. Like, there isn't just like one way to do all of this, and all of these cards have so many different lines that it's really important just to know the different routes you can take. So with all that being said, I hope this video helped you out. I hope you guys had a good day. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.